You are now watching Xpert's Corner on the DML Network.
Welcome into the DML Network. It's your boy Xpert, and I got another episode of Xpert's Corner, and I got a special guest on the show today. It's the Natural, representing Sports Gamers Online. What's going on, man?
What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
What an honor to have you on Xpert's Corner. We took a little break while we were waiting for Madden 19 to come out, but the first guest for Madden 19 cycle couldn't be anybody better than the Natural to jump on here and talk a couple things Madden. But first, let's talk about you. Where did Sports Gamers Online come from? Where was that vision to get the whole thing started?
Yeah, it's interesting. Really, it was more on the. I have a Madden background. You know, I used to play competitively way back in the day, in the old days. You know, kind of the pre-problem days, back to 96, 97, all that. You know, I won a Madden Challenge in Charlotte. But, you know, back in those days, I played competitive. So I've always been a Madden guy from the beginning. You know, I go all the way back to before Madden, you know, 10-yard fight and all that.
Wow.
So I always played football, big football fan, big Madden fan, always played. But for the site, you know, it just started off as just like a forum, a Madden forum. We were playing online leagues and stuff like that. And then I really saw that for 2K, on the 2K side, even though I'm not a 2K guy, I saw there wasn't a website that really, like, you know, did 2K, a lot of 2K news and tips, stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I could do something like that. So I kind of just started it. I feel like there wasn't a sports site and channel that was targeted, that was not a forum, but just a site, like an actual site. You know what I mean? Because there were, you know, other places that was more of like a forum. But I was like, there's no site that just really focuses on strictly sports games. So that's what I'm really focused. Started the site, and then I kind of moved over to the YouTube side once I seen that was, you know, pretty good. You know, that was doing well. So I just do strictly YouTube now, and I have my managing editor, Mike Straw. He runs everything with the site and the writers and everything now.
So where was the point where you knew this thing was just going to take off? You started seeing subscribers come left and right, and it just blew up to where it even really kind of like surprised you to say, okay, Sports Gamers Online is here.
I don't think I ever felt like I arrived. I still don't feel like I've arrived. You know, I still feel like there's some doors I have to kind of pry myself into, and you know, I would think, you know, oh man, 100,000 subscribers, like, you know, doors are flying open left and right, and it really hasn't been the case. So I never have that moment. I still have that. We need to grind. We need to get bigger. Where, you know, people can't say no. People can't deny access and things of nature that we should have. But you know, it gets to the point where it's like, man, you know, you have no choice. You know, you can't ignore, you know, a certain side. You know what I mean?
So I need everybody listening to this show. I want you to listen to what the Natural just said. 100,000 subscribers, and he still feels like he's got to grind every single day. And that's really what has made Sports Gamers Online such a popular channel, because the content continues to get pushed out. You're trying to take it to the next level every time I see a video, and you move not just on the Madden side. You're doing 2K stuff. You know, you got so many different avenues that you're trying to go. Is that kind of the process you started thinking, you know, we can't just be a Madden site. We now got to start catering to other things as this sports gaming world starts to pick up.
Yeah, that was the key. That was the key for the beginning. I always want to cover everything. Now, unfortunately, you know, we're not at the point where I want us to be. You know, Madden and 2K and Live are by far the biggest on the channel, the biggest games. But I would love for MLB to catch up and grow. I would love for even the small indie games that a lot of people, Super Blood Hockey and Super Mega Baseball, even the smaller games to, you know, grow. And even our racing game. I mean, we cover everything. Golf. You know, we really had a great relationship with the golf club, guys at the golf club. We've been doing, have some exclusives with. So, you know, just really helping the indie guys grow, still covering the major games. You know, we're always just trying to do more. And FIFA is a huge miss for us that we're not covering the way we should be as far as YouTube content. So the thing is, for me, there's other channels out there where like one guy just plays everything, but for me, my vision, I want to have an expert. I want to have a great Madden player, somebody showing. I want to have a great 2K player, a great FIFA guy. Like anybody can just play a game, but I want somebody who can play the game, also provide tips, and also, we cover news and reviews and that nature as well. So probably try to cover all the bases for all the sports games. That's the goal, and we're still not there yet.
Okay, so if there's somebody out there that's trying to connect with you, that wants to get on the channel, that thinks they're that guy, that expert that you talked about, how can they reach out to you to start to be affiliated with Sports Gamers On?
Yeah, you can reach out on Twitter, Sports Gamers On. Hit me up. You can also send an email, admin@sportsgamersonline.com, and we'll kind of go through the process. But you got to have your stuff together first. If you see our content, we try not to half-ass anything. So having a good mic. If you do face cam, which you mostly don't, but if you do, make sure you got a good camera. Make sure a lot of things in place, that your content is on point. You're not just going on there and just rambling on it, because I've got people say, oh, yeah, I want to work with your channel. And it's like, the mic sucks and like the content's not good. It's not really thought out. Like, the people we put on the channel that I've worked with are like people I've identified as quality content creators that will be a good fit. So if you got your stuff together, come on, and hey, join us. And I think no one offers the better deal than I do out there, because I pretty much whatever content you put out, you get to keep whatever money you make from that. So I think that's a deal that not many people really offer. It's kind of a win-win.
Absolutely. Do you have goals in place for Sports Gamers Online for the next 5 years, 10 years, of where you want this channel to go? Do you have subscriber numbers that you'd like to hit? Maybe it's games that, you talked about FIFA, trying to get into that FIFA realm. And there's so many good games that are just blowing up right now. Do you set those goals within your organization to kind of reach every single year?
Yeah. The goal is just to grow. As far as specific set goals, I don't have them. Really, I really want to continue to grow the readership on the website side, but also keep growing the YouTube subscribers and views, and really get more consistent with our content. We're working hard to try to put out a video every single day, something new. So that's something, once we get that down, once we cover all the sports equally, I'll be happy. So I'm not focused on the end goal. I'm more focused on internally getting our stuff right, getting our stuff together. And so I know once we do that, and once we have everything arranged and organized the way I wanted to, there's nowhere we can go but up.
Right. Make sure y'all reach out to them on Twitter. Check them on their YouTube page. Subscribe, support. These guys are putting out top content all the time, whether you play Madden, 2K, no matter what game that you got. I promise you these guys are trying to cover it, and they're putting out great content. But let's step into the realm where Xpert's Corner loves to talk about, and that's Madden 19. Okay. All right, so the game's been out for a little bit over a week, almost a little bit over a week now. What did you think your first impressions of Madden 19 when you got your hands on the game?
Well, it's interesting because I got my hands on the game at EA Play for the first time. So the game's a little bit different there than now. So my first impressions, real player emotion is a big thing that you have to talk about. That gives a total different feel to the game. So real player motion is a big one. Some of the other CFM stuff that they added in. It's Madden at the end of the day. So
for those guys that I hear all the time say 19 is just 18 rewash, what do you say to that?
I kind of agree with them. Not in the sense that they're saying it. They're saying as in the devs are lazy. It's the same game. I don't agree with that. But like I went on the show earlier and I spoke and I made the point that I think a lot of people don't realize that, Madden is the same game. It's the same game with improvements, fixes, and additions added on. The same way NBA 2K19 is NBA 2K18 with additions, improvements, and stuff added on. No sports game go in every year and go up, start from scratch. Let's get to it, boys. We got 8 months to bring a brand new sports title from the ground up. That never happens, literally. So I hate to like bust people's bubble. They realize that every single MLB The Show does not start off from MLB The Show 19 will be MLB The Show 18 with improvements, fixes, additional features, maybe added mode. But it's the same engine, it's the same game because there's no way, literally it's impossible for a sports game to build a completely new game in an 8 months time dev type. Like it's literally impossible. So to those people, I'm like, yeah, but the point is it improved enough? Did it fix enough? Did it add enough to make it worth another $60 purchase?
So do you think the Madden community is too harsh on EA when we start to critique their football game every year?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's some people that are lost, that are gonna hate it no matter what. They're just off Madden. There's some people who just love Madden no matter what. It can literally be the same thing with updated rosters. They love Madden, they love football. It doesn't matter. But I think then everyone else is kind of in the middle, right? There's always that extreme left, extreme right, and most of us are kind of in the middle somewhere where we kind of agree a little bit, disagree a little bit. So those people that are just off Madden who really literally believe that 2K5 is better than Madden 19, and there's people that literally believe that Madden 19 looks like Madden 25. There's people like that, but there's people that to me that will kind of excuse anything EA does and just kind of give it a pass and just kind of I think people like I see there with some of the reviews, they kind of fell into the like, oh, it's Madden, we don't expect a lot. Oh, they added new things, that's good, like 9.5, like 9 out of 10. So it's like you got somewhere, the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? That's how a lot of things in life, So I wouldn't go with those guys, I wouldn't be too overly harsh. But at the same time, I wouldn't just give a pass because, we know it's 8 months. They can't do much, but so let's just give them a pass for another year. I'm not with that.
Okay, so one thing in Madden 19 that you wish they would have fixed from 18.
Oh, that's a good one. A fix. I said this before. I think they should have. I think real player motion should have done a little more baking in the oven first. I think that's something they should have not put out this year and kind of in the background develop it, work more, and give it 2 years on that. Give it 2 years. That's a huge undertaking. Real player motion, I don't think people realize what is basically like a motion matching technique. And what that is a AI or the AI figuring out what the next animation is going to be depending on what the player is doing. So it's not a pre-canned animation every single time. Now it's more like, hey, this player is falling a certain way. Okay, what animation best fits that looks naturally in this point? Okay, we choose this one and it happens. So it's a very complex system how it's done. I think it needed more time to kind of polish and kind of some of the issues that we're seeing with, people feeling like the running backs are stuck in quicksand or, the kind of jankiness of it sometimes, or guys disappearing and reappearing on the line down the field, and little bugs like that I think could have been polished over, and they gave it 2 years to work on that instead of trying to get that in a 1 year cycle. I think it's just too big of an undertaking to put something like that out with top quality polish on it.
So does the natural play in a CFM franchise in Madden?
Yeah. I will be. I'll be in the Premier Madden League this year. That'll be my sim league. I'm gonna put an announcement on the channel pretty recently. My team, I'm gonna have the Ravens. But also I'm in the CFM Creators League. That's the one with all the YouTubers and some competitive guys are in there. So I'm gonna have 2 franchises on the channel this year.
Okay, so why did you pick the Baltimore Ravens?
Lamar Jackson, bro. Why would anybody? I mean, yeah, man. Lamar Jackson was the most exciting. He's like the new Michael Vick. Michael Vick 2.0, man.
Oh my goodness.
So, a right arm Vick, you can't beat that.
Okay, so do you like the improvements they made to the CFM franchise mode? I like in particular the development. So no more are there hogging points and then flooding them into a couple things. Do you like this kind of randomization, build your guy up randomly versus doing it yourself?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's I think for CFM it's kind of more visual. I think they kind of, it's like, instead of making brand new soup, they kind of stirred the pot a little bit and serve, so I don't think it's like fresh I'm not sure. You ever go to like store or Publix or soup? It's like, how long is this? This soup out this yesterday's soup, or this is fresh soup we got in the pot? So I think it's a little more stir, a little more seasoning in there. So it might be just enough. Yeah. So it's some cool new additions, but I think it's when I look at my list, there's still a lot on my franchise want list, wish list there that hasn't gotten touched in a while.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's the next question. What is on the top of that wish list for CFM?
I would say one of the biggest things, coaching carousel. I'm trying to figure out how to get offense and defensive coordinators and kind of tie that to the playbooks. Make that matter. Make scouts and scouting more in depth, more like the real NFL. Make the combine matter more. Just make things. To me, it should get to the point like Head Coach 09 where outside of the game on the field, it's like another game off the field where you're having fun just being in the screen, like whether it's scouting or like NCAA football. The most fun of that game wasn't on the field. It was like going after the players, like, oh, I got this guy, or like make something more in depth where even the game itself is not even the highlight. The other things, the draft process, the scouting, all those other things, free agency, dealing with players' needs and wants, outside the field, more things around nagging injuries and real decisions around that. Not like, hey, do you want to put this guy in with a -20 overall, or the guy that's in there right now? Like, I'm going to sit him because he's like -20 overall and he can get re-injured for the season. That's not a very hard decision. Like, a real nagging injury, tough decision. Like, that makes sense. Just more depth added to the mold, a lot more.
Do you think that's possible to add those layers? Or you think that we've got the best CFM we're going to get? Man,
that's terrible. You sound like an abused spouse right now saying that. Is it possible for it to get better? It's like, yeah, like, man, it's like lower expectations, really. like, can Madden get better? Because I don't think it can. Like, yeah, it's not a person. It's not like once you hit 40, you're set. Like, yeah, it can get better. All those things can improve. I think it's a good start if they started Head Coach 09, man. Like, that's a great start. If they just, a lot of that stuff, half the thing, Head Coach 09 in Madden 20, I'll be happy.
You'll be good to go. Yeah. All right, man. Last segment of the show. Let's talk Colin Kaepernick for a minute. So you put a video out.
I'm taking a quick drink.
Yeah. All right, man. So you put a video out. Madden 19 drops. Colin Kaepernick's name is omitted from a song from a very famous rapper in Madden 19, and it's like the world erupted. And it came from all sides. Social media, from the entertainment side. We saw Madden guys throwing a fit. But you put a video out that went back even further. That went back several years of kind of the NFL kind of putting a stop on who Colin Kaepernick is and how much he's allowed to be in EA's video game. When you first saw that his name was out of Madden 19 and you were gonna make the video, did you have second thoughts about doing that video, or were you just like, okay, we gotta go, we gotta put this out now?
Yeah, no, it was something I had been tracking for, like you said, all the way back then. I just been kind of watching with a side eye, like, and not saying anything. And when that finally came out, I was like, oh, I gotta make it. Like, they're just going too far with it. Like, I gotta make a video, because I've been tweeting about some things related to that, like last year, like what happened with the Ultimate Team, the golden ticket, because I played MUT for the first time. As soon as that came out, I'm like, oh man, I'm buying bundles. I'm gonna try to pull a Colin Kaepernick, I want to pull a Colin Kaepernick card. And so when it came out, I see the rules. I'm like, that's a mighty particular rule, like a little too particular, like very specific. And I went to my research and looked back, and I saw that rule had never been existed before ever in the history of golden tickets. So I'm like, so I started looking at it more, and when I talked to some folks here and there to kind of confirm whatever, that was the cause. And then so I kind of tweeted about it, but that's what it was. I didn't say much, but so when that finally came out, and then it tied back to them doing it last year as well, it was just I had to make a video at that point.
So why do you think there was such an uproar this year when it's happened for the past 2 years now?
I think just awareness. People didn't know about it. I think people didn't get that. I didn't know about the last year's song either. I didn't know until somebody posted and I saw someone post say, hey, they did it last year too. And I'm like, really? So I went back, checked, and do my due diligence, and I've seen that it's kind of been a series of things that they've been doing to kind of censor or exclude him from the game.
All right. So what's been the reaction to the video? I read a couple comments, and comments are comments on YouTube videos. But what's been the overall reaction to it?
Surprisingly positive on the reaction side. Of course, there's comment section. I mean, come on, YouTube comment section is always gonna be crazy. So I kind of don't read. I just kind of try to not to read those comments. But I don't delete them. I let people have their say. How they believe on the issue. That's fine. But I think the problem people kind of missing. They're like, oh, why do you care? Why does it matter? He's not in the league. The problem is that if teams don't feel like they should sign Colin Kaepernick, that's fine. That's their right to do so, even though I don't agree with it. But the NFL should have no part in deciding anything about Colin Kaepernick. The NFL is not the NFL's job to say what he can be in, what he can't be in, and what he can do. NFL should have nothing to do with that. Like, you don't hear NFL, calling and banning this player, banning that player. There were players in the game previously that have done stuff, criminal things that have been in the game. So it's like, why is taking a knee for inequality and police brutality worse than someone slapping their wife?
Yeah. Do you think that Colin Kaepernick is kind of being the poster child of the inequality that he talked about? The real reason that Colin Kaepernick actually started to take the knee. Do you think that the NFL has started to put all the looks on him and say, look, we cannot allow Colin Kaepernick to be involved with anything with the NFL?
Yeah, maybe. And I think, they just wanted to try to, like I said, censor him and just have him not be talked about at all. But I think that the worst story to me is Eric Reid. You can say what you want about Kaepernick not being a top quarterback or not being deserving of a spot. Eric Reid is, a top 20 safety, top 15 safety. Who's going to argue that? Why does Eric Reid not have a roster spot in the NFL right now? And then, people can say, oh, well, he's suing them. He's suing them now after he waited all that time, all free agency, all, teams, and no one signed him. I mean, that's crazy. That's just, the thing is so crazy to me is people always use that. Oh, well, the NFL, it's always about whoever the best player is will play. It doesn't matter. Like, the best man, so that kind of was like a sports. You always think about that. Like, oh, it's not about race. It's not about this and that. It's about the best, whoever the best, will play. And this obviously shows you it's not just about the best, because he's better than Colin Kaepernick is better than a lot of quarterbacks on rosters right now. I mean, who can argue that? If you argue that, then you're clearly biased on the subject. Eric Reid is better than a lot of starting safeties in the league. Who can argue that? So it's not about just being who the best player is. There's other things that go along with that. So, how fair is that?
Do you think Colin Kaepernick ever gets back in the NFL?
No, not at this point. I think he's kind of made that sacrifice. And, that's why, the kind of blowback and issues I received since putting the video out, and friends were asking me about, how do you feel about, how EA has been reacting to this or that? I'm like, man, Kaepernick lost his job, and that's something that you can't do forever. You got a small window opportunity to be successful with that. And he's, they kind of closed that window on him. And the same thing with Eric Reid. And throughout history, people that took a stand against things, they lost their lives. They lost their families. They lost everything. So me, losing or hurting my relationship with EA, me losing, some Madden codes or whatever it is, it's inconsequential. I still have my life. I still have my family, my livelihood. So, I'm not going to let things they do or say, change how I feel. And this is bigger than me. So if, whatever EA wants to do, how they want to react or remove me from the game changes or everything like that, then that's on them. But for me, I'm gonna, like I said in the video, I'm gonna be on the right side of history. We can look back at 20 years and we can see their actions, we can see my actions, and we'll see how people look at that.
Well, I'll tell you this: when I first saw the title of the video, it was like one of those. Okay, I gotta watch it. I gotta get away from work. I gotta go sit somewhere quiet. I gotta hear this video because I wanted to hear what you guys had to say. You're such an integral part of the Madden community to us. We love y'all's insight in the game, and the video was so well put together. It wasn't just a rant video. This is my opinion. The fact that you had visual evidence, you went back several years. The amount of respect that the guys in the Dynasty have when the video came out is just, we can't thank you enough for doing the right thing, to stand up with Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, not everybody is going to agree with Colin Kaepernick and his mode of how he did it, but nobody in America can agree that he did it for the right reason. The social inequality that is in our country because of the tone of your skin is ridiculous in 2018 and should not happen, no matter what. And if Colin Kaepernick has to take a knee to make people finally start to realize how important that is, then I'm certainly glad he did. I wish more guys in the NFL this past preseason game would have done the same thing. I know NFL owners came out and said, look, you're going to stand whether you like it or not, or stay in the locker room. And there were several players that either put a fist up or stayed in the locker room. But, man, this fight is not over. And I think that's what the video talked about. This is an ongoing battle, and we got a long way to go.
Yeah, you have to realize that. I want to say thank you for the support, but thank you for saying that. I definitely in the age of Trump, I definitely appreciate any allies that I have that people can realize that. 'Cause a lot of people still don't believe that racism exists. A lot of people still don't believe inequality exists. So I appreciate you saying that, particularly you saying that. But also, you have to realize that this is, and I've gotten to talking back and forth with people on Facebook who disagree with Colin Kaepernick, and this is a cycle. This is not the first time, going all the way back to the Olympics, and raising the black power fist. Those guys were blackballed. They never ran again in the Olympics. They never could get a job anywhere in America. Their careers, lives were destroyed. Going back to Abdul Rahim in the NBA. Not standing for the flag. He was an all-star. He could have might have went down as one of the greatest players in NBA history. He was totally an outcast and blackballed from the NBA. So this has happened again and again. People want to stand for, against inequality and for the rights of people of color. They've always been. They've lost greatly. And going back, even back further than that, like I said, people have lost their lives. So a lot of things like that, people are like, oh, why, and then a lot of times I hear people say, well, why does he have to take a knee? Why does he have to do? Why does he have to do it during the game? Like, I don't care about this. I don't, people thought, Rosa Parks sitting on the bus, they wanted to get to work too. They were like, hey man, I don't care about this lady sitting on the bus. I want to go to work, right? I mean, they were like, why is you bothering me? Like, I don't care what's the back or the front, but that shows you those things matter. And the same people that spit on Muhammad Ali is the same grandchildren spitting on Colin Kaepernick now. So when we look back, Muhammad Ali is so loved now, but when he was that time, he was hated. He was one of the most hated men in America. So it repeats itself. So do you want to be that? You want to tell your grandkids that you were the same person who hated Colin Kaepernick, just like the same person who hated Muhammad Ali, just like the same person who hated the guys in the Olympics who would put a black crowd, so it's just a cycle. Will you be that person, or will you be the person that's going to make a change? And
that's it. And we need more people to stand together to make the change versus just pointing fingers. And I think that's the problem that we got right now. We got so many people pointing fingers, and we want to blame Colin Kaepernick for so many things. Listen, Colin Kaepernick started this by sitting on the bench. He was asked by a veteran of the military that, hey man, could you just take a knee like we do when we have a fallen soldier? And that's what Colin Kaepernick did, out of respect for the military veterans, to take the knee versus sitting on the bench. And I think a lot of times we like to take social injustices and we like to twist them around to fit our mold. So we like to tell Colin Kaepernick that he's taking a knee because he don't respect the flag. And that's not it. No. Colin Kaepernick took a knee because he's tired of seeing guys that are black, Mexican, of color being gunned down in the street and nobody saying anything about it. And what a better venue to do it in than when millions and millions of people are watching. Now, Here's where I love Colin Kaepernick. He didn't stop on Sunday. Colin Kaepernick has fought Monday through Sunday, putting millions and millions of dollars out to do this. And I see a lot of guys going around helping Colin Kaepernick, and we need more of that. Were you a little upset with the NFL when they came out with that rule and said, hey, guys, stand or don't show up?
No. I mean, that's what I expected from them. I expected that when pressure from Trump and some of the owners that align with Trump, talking about that, and some of the owners who have that same type of plantation mentality that they have, I totally expected. I expected none less than the NFL. So that's what I thought was coming. So no, I'm not shocked. I just hope the NFL Players Association can be strong, and I think they got a lot of negotiations going forward, especially with the collective bargaining agreement. I feel the players have kind of gotten the shaft, and I hope they really can form together and make that a part of the negotiation with the players' agreement the next one that they have.
Yeah, it'll be kind of neat to see how they go into that battle. They got a lot on their plate that they're going to have to get up with the NFL owners and get it right for both sides. If the owners feel, one kind of way, they got to make sure that they understand these players, while they may be millionaires now, they've seen this their entire lives. And they look back at the neighborhoods that they grew up in and still see their friends and their families going through this nonsense every single day. And so it'll be great to see the Players Association step up and stand up for the guys in the NFL and what they're trying to do. But if you have not seen the video, you need to go right now, Sports Gamers Online, and look for the Colin Kaepernick video and watch it. Hit the like button. Put your comments on there. You heard the natural say he loves to see people he doesn't censor your comments. He doesn't delete them. He lets you put those on there because he believes in free speech too. He wants to have everybody have that right to say something. He's just going to stand firm on his belief no matter what anybody else says. And I want you to know Xpert stands there with you. Arm in arm. I love what you did with the video. Huge respect for the video. I wish I could have liked it 100 times because that's how important that video was.
Thank you. So, yeah, I mean, all I could do, there's no need for a follow-up or anything like that unless something else happens. But, it was really cool to see Colin Kaepernick retweeted it. And his girlfriend as well. So that was nice. Shout out to them. Thank you. And I definitely stand with them in this fight, just like I said in the video. Yep. So, and it's tough. You have to realize, we're, against some huge, we talk about NFL, how powerful NFL is. You're talking about, again, I don't think this is against, I don't want to say I'm against EA. And I don't think this is EA's fault. Like I said in the video, I don't put it on EA. It's the EA, working through or for the NFL. These are some huge corporations you're talking about and how much power corporations have in America today. So, it's tough. But social media is one place where, you can kind of have your own platform and your own power to, to kind of fight against that. Where before just one person and one voice wasn't nothing. But now it can be amplified with social media and places like YouTube and Twitter following. So
absolutely. All right, guys. I want to thank the Natural for coming on. I appreciate you taking time out your busy day. How did the birthday party go?
Good. It was awesome. My wife actually hired a private chef to come and cook for us and some friends and stuff. So that was really nice. She was very sweet of her.
I see the Natural doing big things. He got the private chef coming to the birthday party. So I appreciate your time taking out of your day and jumping on Xpert's Corner, the first one for the Madden 19 cycle. I can't thank you enough. Huge respect for what y'all guys are doing. And we'll continue to follow y'all and support everything that y'all put out.
Thank you for the support. And let's really form together this year and have one voice with franchise and really bring the community together. Franchise needs a lot of improvements, and I think we need to do a better job of not being so splintered, but being more unified as a franchise community. So we're always here to support franchise and leagues like yours, and we're always here to grow and really show them that franchise is important and that we need just as much attention and resources as some of the other modes.
Absolutely. All right, we're gonna let the Natural get out of here and go enjoy the rest of his evening. Last segment of the show is Xpert's thoughts. And the first one I want to talk about is the NFL season coming up. All right, guys, as you know, your boy Xpert is a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. And you know I got to pick them to win the Super Bowl. But I do that every single year, and it hasn't worked out for a long, long time. I was alive when they won their last Super Bowl. But this NFL season is more important. Zeke is back. Dak is in his third year, and we have let go of Dez Bryant and Jason Witten. It's going to be an interesting season. But more important is exactly what Sports Gamers Online was just talking about, is we got to band together with the NFL and those players and protesting as much as we can for the inequality here in America. Whether you agree with it or not, or the methods that they do, nobody can turn a blind eye to what's going on in the world today. And so this year I will be celebrating with the NFL players and taking a knee during the national anthem. Whatever they do, if it's going to help equality in our country, that's what we need to be supporting. But you know the Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl. I don't want to hear nothing from no Eagles fans. I don't want to hear nothing from no Patriots. Definitely not no Falcons fans. Shout out to the homie Nasty Noop and those Falcons. The Cowboys are winning it all. They going 13-3 and running away with it there in the NFC. Last Xpert thoughts. NBA Live versus 2K. I see a lot of guys bashing one or the other games online. Why? It's two separate games. I'm so thankful that they're not the same. I like things in 2K just like I like things in NBA Live. And I'm going to play both of them. And I encourage everybody to do the same. We cannot compare these two. Yes, they're both basketball games, but they're going in different directions. And they're not really competing on the same level yet, and we shouldn't expect them to. But we got to stop bashing one or the other because both of them are trying to do great things for the community and put out the greatest game possible for us that love playing basketball on our PlayStations or our Xbox. I will be getting both. Matter of fact, NBA Live is already pre-ordered, and I will be ordering 2K. I cannot wait to take my Dallas Mavericks to back-to-back champions on the game. But I encourage you guys to support both of these games as they're doing some great things. Shout out to the homie Prime76. Make sure you go follow him, one of the NBA Live guys that is just tearing up for the community. And I appreciate everything that he does. This has been the latest episode of Xpert's Corner. We had the natural from Sports Gamers Online here. I asked y'all, go follow them on Twitter. Check out their YouTube page, subscribe. And also, hit that subscribe button here on the DML Network. We got a lot of content coming out for Madden 19. I got some more episodes of Xpert's Corner on the way with some huge guests coming this year. Be on the lookout for that. It's your boy Xpert, and I'm out.